Last week I talked to you about regeneration, and as I talked to you about regeneration, we recognize that regeneration is a spiritual thing, a rebirth that takes place through an act of God within the one that is saved, the one who has been converted. And this week I'm going to begin talking to you about justification. And as I talk to you about justification, I also want you to understand that justification, just like regeneration, just like conversion, is an act of God. In fact, Romans chapter 8 and verse 33 tells us that who can lay a charge against God's elect, for it is God who justifies. So God is the one who justifies. What does that word justify mean? It's a legal term. And so as we look at it as a legal term, who's the one that can lay a charge against God's elect? In other words, who can say that that individual is guilty? Now, the Bible clearly teaches that all of us are guilty. All we like sheep have gone astray. Each of us have turned to our own way. All have sinned and fallen short of the glory of God. But it is God who justifies. So what is taking place there in that legal term? We're all guilty. Every single one of us have sinned, but it is God who gives that justification of saying, you know what, you're not guilty. And that takes place through us placing our faith in Jesus Christ and the completed work that Jesus did upon the cross of Calvary. But God is the one who does that. And so as we recognize it is God who justifies, when we place our faith and trust in Jesus Christ and what Jesus did upon the cross of Calvary, He declares us not guilty. There's no longer a charge that is laid against us. That charge has been declared not guilty. Yes, we've sinned. Yes, we've committed the crime. Yes, we've done the deed. But Jesus Christ went to the cross of Calvary to pay the price for you and for me. Therefore, when we do place our faith and trust in Jesus Christ, that charge of God of not guilty, you have been justified, has been laid up on us. Now, as you look at Jesus, and Jesus, the paralytic came that was laid upon the pallet, laid before the feet of Jesus. What did Jesus say to him? He said, your sins have been forgiven. A lot of other folks said, well, who can forgive sins but God alone? And they were absolutely right. No one can forgive sins but God alone. Now, Jesus is God. That was their problem. They didn't understand that. They didn't recognize that. But I can't forgive you of your sins. Your mama can't forgive you of your sins. No pastor, no priest, no one can forgive you of your sins. It is God who justifies. It is God who forgives you of your sins. You can't declare yourself not guilty, but when you come to Jesus Christ by faith, put your faith and your trust in Him, believe on Him for salvation, those sins are wiped away and you have been declared not guilty. Just place your faith in Jesus, trust in Him, believe on Him.